Hey y'all, welcome to the Gone Outdoors podcast. Thanks for joining us. This is the place where we talk about all things hunting and fishing. As we like to say, if it's going on out there, then we're talking about it right here. So let's get after it with the latest episode. Hey, good morning everybody. This is Mike Rhodes. I'm with Georgia Outdoor News Magazine. I'm sitting here in Madison, Georgia today with some members of the Morgan County High School fishing team. We got Will Thomas and Michael Arienzo. Those are our student anglers, as well as their boat captain for the National Championship Tournament, Greg Thomas. And these guys just spent 4 days over in Alabama fishing on Lake Pickwick. It's a 4-day tournament, and I'll let these guys straighten me out because I know I'm not going to get this right. They were there. They can tell you about it. But as I know it, there were over 380 teams involved, and you guys were invited. You earned your way in. Fished well enough after the first 3 days to earn your way into the World Finals. Am I right on that, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how many go to the World Finals out of the 380 some odd?
31.
31. Okay, that's a pretty doggone good weekend. And like I said, in just a couple minutes, we're going to let the guys get into it, and Greg tell us a little bit about how the event works. But I'd like to know a little bit about you guys. I mean, Will, how did you get involved with fishing?
I started at a young age, probably 4 or 5. My dad started me, and then at the beginning of 8th grade, I heard of the fishing team, and then it really started amping up to something serious.
And what grade are you in now?
I'm going to be a sophomore.
Okay, great. And Michael, how'd you get involved?
Same way, I started at a young age. Dad took me fishing a lot. I was in 8th grade. He started the fishing team. I got into it too.
Great. And now, when your dads were taking you fishing, I mean, you guys were going out on the big lakes fishing. Did you start pond fishing?
He started me pond fishing probably 4 or 5. Then about 6, 7, 8, he started taking me to Lake Jackson, Oconee, Sinclair, and just getting me throwing a bait caster and just just getting me involved.
And Michael, you remember your first big fish?
It was at my grandpa and them's old place. It was probably around 8 pounds.
Oh man, that's pretty good. Pretty close to the one you caught last week, huh?
Yes, sir.
Good deal. So I know you guys are on the fishing team. You've been in the high school fishing team for a couple of years now. It sounds like this will be your second year coming up. What else do you guys do? I mean, when you're not on the fishing team, what are you guys doing? What you got other outdoor activities you enjoy?
I duck hunt, deer hunt, fish a lot too. Anything outdoors, I do it.
Same, outdoors, hunting, fishing. Play baseball for
Right.
school and everything, so it's always good.
Well, good deal. So we live in the right place to be able to do all those kind of things here in Morgan County, don't we?
Yes, sir.
We got some nice lakes around us and plenty of national forests to go out and have a good time. So I understand Morgan County High School, we've got a fishing team. We fish in pairs. How did you two end up getting matched up together?
It's actually kind of...
It's very complicated.
But
Well, we got time.
Okay, so my brother broke his leg, and then we planned a beach trip, and then so...
Is this your older brother or younger brother?
My older brother.
Okay.
And he broke his leg on a ATV accident, and then we planned a beach trip, and then my original partner, I don't know how to word it, but he kind of asked somebody else to fish with him in a tournament at Lake Murray, and long story short, they qualified for nationals at Lake Pickwick, and then so we were kind of screwed on how to fish, and then so I asked him, and he said, yeah, at the first time I asked him, and we just kind of picked it up from there.
So you guys just ended up as partners.
Yeah, we weren't gonna
on a lark.
Yeah, he just
This
asked
wasn't
me.
original. Like,
Okay.
this wasn't planned.
And so when you asked him, Michael, to join up and start fishing, how do you guys earn your way into the nationals at that point? I mean, you guys are just starting. How do you qualify to get into it? I guess is my question.
Like, we were fishing the World Finals for 3 days, and we made it to the last day, and there's 10 national dudes, top 10 from nationals, top 10 from second from the top 2 in state, and top 10 from second chance round, and we got into it, but we were fishing against national dudes, and
Okay.
that's
Okay, cool. So my question would be, now I know how we get into the final day, but how do we get to go to Pickwick? I mean, how do you earn your way in to go to Pickwick to be in the tournament?
We just signed up.
We signed up.
Okay.
It's you can earn your way several different ways, but we signed up as kind of like a second chance deal. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah, that's what I was curious
Yeah.
about, because if you hadn't been fishing together for the
whole
entire season,
right?
Yeah.
I didn't know how you were able to earn your way in, but
Right. You
obviously you guys would have earned your way in because you earned your way into the top 31 out of 300 and some odd boats.
That's-
right?
So at this point, are we fishing together next year?
No, sir.
No, sir, I
No.
don't think so.
Okay.
No, they're going back. I think he's going to fish with his brother. I mean, there's a cousin, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And then
I'm fishing with my
his usual partner.
Okay. So now we'll have at least one more team
Mm-hmm.
in the Nationals next year. That's
So
Absolutely.
that's some pretty cool
Hopefully so.
stuff.
Right.
Greg, as the boat captain,
Yes.
I imagine there's a lot of preparation. You guys sign up and it's like, hey, we're going to Pickwick and we've got this big tournament going on. I know these guys got a lot of preparation to do, but I know the boat captain's got a lot of preparation to do too.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about what's involved with that. You find out, you guys sign up, and how much time do you have to get prepared?
It depends on how far we sign up out. You know, we've been knowing about it for about 4 months probably.
Okay.
We were going to fish. So, my main concern as a captain is to make sure that they've got everything that they need as far as tackle, rods and reels, all our life jackets, safety equipment's where it needs to be. I do a lot of. Thankfully, this tournament, Will had been to Pickwick before. I had never been to Pickwick, so my preparation as far as Pickwick and ledge fishing, I didn't know the lake at all, but luckily Will kind of knew the lake, and he got on my Humminbird about a week before out in the driveway and marked almost 100 waypoints for us to look for fish. And so that part of my preparation was not involved this time. He did a lot of marking on the Humminbird and trying to get some spots where we could ledge fish and try to catch some deep fish, because that's usually that tournaments on that lake are one deep. But I just make sure that they got everything they need, and make sure that we got all our, like I said, our safety equipment, and they got they have a student registration card that they got to have with them. A lot of our high school tournaments, make sure that they got all that they need when we get ready to go. Make sure the boat's good and ready to go. I had a mechanical problem a couple days before we're supposed to leave, and thank goodness the guys at B&A Marine, Brandon and Andrew, I called them up and said, bring it down. We're covered up, but I know you're going to Pickwick, so they worked me in. I had an air compressor go bad on my Ranger, and they fixed it up, and it ran really great for the 4 days that we were there and got us where we needed to go. But yeah, I just get the boat ready, make sure they got everything that they need, and plenty of waters in the boat, plenty of food, make sure they ain't crashing on me,
I understand.
Mountain Dews or whatever we got to do to keep them pumped,
Yeah, I guess that it's important because you guys are getting up. What time are you guys getting up in the morning on those tournament days?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
Leaving by 3:30.
It's a long day.
And so safe flight over there in Alabama was about what time?
5:30.
Okay. And what time did you have to be back in for weigh-in each day?
Depended, but
Yeah,
usually around.
depended what flight we were. Around 3 usually every day.
Wow, that is a long day. Greg was telling me that, Will, you've fished Pickwick before. Michael, had you been on Pickwick before?
No, sir, no.
Okay. We understand the day, I think it started on the 19th, right?
We started on a Wednesday.
On a Wednesday. So
on a Wednesday, yeah.
So are you guys going over early and getting the opportunity to practice fish?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So tell me about that. When do you guys get over there, Michael?
We got over there Saturday evening, then we went out Sunday. You can't fish till they give you like 2.5 days to practice. So we went out there, went to some of his ledges that he marked. He had a bunch of them marked, but we went over them, tried to just see if we could find some fish, but we threw out a buoy and then we fished on the buoy and like trying to figure them out. But
Were there other teams on some of these spots?
yeah,
Every
bunch of them.
They were covered up.
Yeah.
So try to be polite, but also try to get your work done.
Right.
If I see him, everybody in the world sees him.
Yeah, because we aren't even we don't know how to ledge fish really.
I got you. And so when you're out there practicing and you guys got your buoys and you got your spots, I mean, you guys will stay on a hole. You're throwing the same bait. You guys trying to see what's going to work.
Just kind of rotating. I'd normally throw a big flutter spoon. Michael would throw a jig, and my dad would just throw anything.
Okay, so during practice, the boat captain can practice with them. Okay,
during practice,
good.
yeah. So we have 3 rods in the water, just experimenting to see what works best and what we need to rule out.
And then I guess from there, you guys narrow down these 100 points to however many you can.
Yeah, probably about
2.
2, yeah.
Or 3.
2 or 3, yeah.
So that was based on what you were catching.
Yeah.
Okay. And then first day, you guys may be a little nervous, excited. I mean, how do you feel when it's time?
I mean, we really didn't have too much to look forward to. I mean, we were catching some fish, but we weren't like catching enough to win it, I guess. I mean, I caught a 7-pounder in practice. We caught some 3s and maybe some 2-pounders, but we knew you were going to have 12 pounds to be in the top 10. But we probably wouldn't do that with what we had. Then.
So what you're saying is during your practice, you weren't feeling.
Yeah, we weren't feeling.
You weren't on them.
Yeah, we weren't. No, not really.
Okay, so your first day, did you guys get your limit?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember your weight?
7 pounds 6 ounces.
And what was? Do you remember the big weight that day?
We had
14
probably.
13
Wow.
maybe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so at that point you're like, okay, well, got my limit.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Got work cut out for us.
Yeah.
Got work cut out for us.
And so after that you go home, you relax, you go to bed at 8 o'clock because you got to get up at 3.
Yeah.
That's what we planned.
Yeah, that's what we planned.
Right.
Didn't quite turn out that way?
No.
Okay, gotcha. So where were you guys sitting after day 1?
135th, I think.
Okay, top half.
Something like that.
Better than the top half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We were in the top half though.
20s.
So.
Yeah, I think so, but yeah.
Okay, and you have other Morgan County high school teams over there fishing too?
We had 2. We had a team of Ryan Thomas, Cole Freeman, and Landon Huff and Cole Holloway.
And how were they doing? Do you all like share information with your other teammates, or is it, hey,
Well,
I'm a teammate, but I'm also competing against you like a NASCAR driver?
some people do and some people don't.
Right.
Just put it that way.
Okay.
It's such a big lake, you know. I mean,
It doesn't matter.
You could tell somebody what you're catching them on, but I'm not giving them waypoints. I'm not telling them where I am, you know. But it's such a big lake. Yeah, I would tell them we're catching them on a jig.
Okay.
And
Share enough information so y'all gonna have supper together, but
Yeah.
not too much so y'all are throwing across each other.
we won't see them on the next day.
I understand. Well, that's good stuff. Okay, so we come to day 2. You guys are 130 something out of 380. Pretty good, if you ask me.
Not bad.
Day 2, what do? Is it the same pattern, the same points? You guys stick at that again?
We stuck with it all day, and then we had a battery go bad towards the end of the day, and we had another team come pick us up, and we had 6 pounds.
Yeah, 6. 606.
So staying pretty consistent then.
Pretty consistent, but we got 3 keepers in the boat that day, and the day before we had 10. So
Wow. So the first day you guys are calling all day, and the second day you're like, I need that third fish.
Yeah.
oh crap,
Yeah.
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 What time did you guys catch the third one on day 2?
Right
Like
before we
2
had to
o'clock,
come in.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys are in panic mode, and then finally, who got that bite?
I think he did.
Yeah. I caught it on a Zoom June bug, Magnum worm, shaky at worm.
And is that something you were fishing the day before, or is that something you said, hey man, we're getting ready we got to go. I need to try something different.
We fished it the day before, and that's where we caught our 10 keepers, and we caught 3 the next day because we kind of fished it out. And
Okay.
I guess no new fish moved in, just same old fish.
So you said something that was interesting to me. It's the end of the day. We got to get back to weigh-in, and we got a battery issue.
Mm-hmm.
So boat captain's over there sweating, thinking, "Oh my goodness, I just did everything to get ready to come over here, and now this happens."
Yeah.
So what's going through your mind, Greg?
There's panic mode. We were about 26 miles south, I think, of Blastoff, and my brother-in-law called me early that morning and said he had a log headed south and tore his lower unit off, so he was hoping I could come get him if they had fish. But at the end of the day, I called him up and said, hey, I'm not going to be able to come get you. I've got issues. So I called Jason Payne, who was captain, and Ryan and Cole Freeman. He was near weighing 26 miles north, and I called him about 1 o'clock. Said, hey man, I got both that won't crank. Can you bring me some jumper cables? So he said yeah. So he headed my way. He got to me, put a set of jumper cables on it. I don't know why it wouldn't fire off the jumper cables, but I couldn't get it fired up. So we got our fish, threw them in his live well, called the tournament director, said, hey, we got an issue. We're going to send Michael in with Jason Payne as a captain so he can weigh our fish. But anyways, he jumped in the boat with Jason and the other 2 kids, and they took off to weigh in. Luckily, we were on time. I think Jason was about a minute late, unfortunately, so I think they got penalized. Maybe did they get penalized?
I don't think so.
Anyway, they were close to being late to weigh in because they had to come try to help us. So Will and I called fire and rescue. Luckily, they keep fire and rescue on the lake all day long for situations like this, and they'll come tow you in from anywhere on the lake. But luckily, I was close to a small ramp that was across the lake. So after I talked to fire and rescue, said, see if you can get over there on a trolling motor, and if you can't, we'll come pick you up. So luckily, we got over there. And on the trolling motor, and Ryan drove my truck around from weigh-in to over there to pick us up later, me and Will. And had them pick a battery up in town, and that night I put the battery in at the house. So we're preparing for our next day, and because I didn't even think we were going to fish the third day. We'd kind of counted ourselves out because I thought it was something other than a battery because it wouldn't start with jumper cables. So anyways, long story short, I got my truck up there, took close to it, and fired it up with my truck with their jumper cables. So okay, I got a battery issue. So they were in the house sitting there not knowing what had happened. The boat had fired up, and I went inside and I said, guess what, boys? We're fishing the water.
I feel pretty good, guys.
Yes, sir.
End of day 2, you send Michael because obviously he's built for speed. He's going to run up there with the fish. You guys make it in the nick of time. Where do you finish? Where are you sitting at the end of day 2?
I think
Probably lower than
we were sitting, I want to say 30 or 40 spots lower.
So you guys are in the 170 range.
Something like that.
Still in the top half.
Yeah.
Figuring, hey, takes one good one, and we're doing real well.
One good day.
Yeah.
So we go to day 3. We get up 3 o'clock in the morning.
We're like,
Check our phones. Get some Insta post. Here we go. We get out there. You're in the first flight, second flight.
We were about 261.
Okay.
So
okay.
we were
Back
down
there.
there.
So you're not going to be the first one of those holes that you have.
No.
But we got a late weigh-in too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of helps
We're
us.
3:15 weigh-in, yeah.
Okay. So the bite was later in the day?
For a ledge fisherman, it is,
We'll
but
start
we're not
pulling
ledge
current.
fishermen.
Okay.
So.
Where do y'all first Wednesday? Third day. So that's going to be Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do y'all go when you take off?
Well, we changed tactics. So we were fishing deep the first 2 days, and then all our fish ran out deep. And then we said we're just going to fish our strengths, and we're going to fish shallow. And we tied on a frog, a zoom worm, what else?
Buzzbait.
A buzzbait,
Yeah.
and
That's really about it.
that's really about it, yeah.
That's really
and,
just what we wanted to throw.
and a whopper. And then we pull up in a creek, we don't catch anything, and we move on. And then we didn't really have too good a morning, really. And then
So when you say I didn't have a very good morning, all right, you guys are out on the water. It's what time? 9, 10 o'clock. You don't have a fish yet?
No, we didn't. I think we caught our first fish at
10:30.
Yeah, 10:30.
Wow. Okay. And what time you guys got to start heading back?
Depending on where we were.
We went south that day.
I want to say we had a 3:45 weigh-in.
And
That
so
day.
and how far is the
We
ride to
need
get
to
back?
leave
Greg?
at 3 to be safe.
Okay.
Where we were, we need to leave at 3 to be safe.
Okay. So you've got what? You got 4 hours or so left to fish, 5, and you finally get your first one.
Yeah.
And I know that something else happened that day. So a little bit later, how long was it between I got my first one until I got my next one? And how many did you guys have on day 3? How many total fish?
We had 3.
We only caught 3.
Okay, caught 3. When's the second one get caught?
It gets caught maybe 11:15. We
Okay.
pull up in a creek, and we fished it in practice. We didn't get any bites, but we were like, all right, let's just go fish there. And then we pull up in there and tell a story.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the one, Michael.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, let's tell us about it. So you're pulling into this creek where you haven't fished before.
Yes, sir. We
Oh,
fished.
you fished. You didn't catch anything.
Yeah, we didn't catch anything. We just trying something new, and we had a big old Magnum shaky head on about a 3/8 ounce jig head, and then threw it out there and right next to a tree, and it was just sinking down, and I clicked the bell, go work it, and my line was just running, and it was already behind the boat. I hooked, and it jumped, and it was already back behind the boat because it was just swimming so fast. He saw it. We all saw it. We were going crazy. He was getting rushing around trying to get the net, and we got it in the boat. Luckily, I mean, it was just lucky to get it in the boat. I mean,
How long did it take you to get it in the boat?
not long. It was probably like
You were bringing that guy?
30 seconds, probably 45 seconds.
And was it your first cast at that little spot right there?
I want to say it was.
First or second, yeah.
And so obviously we're an audio here, so we can't tell. I picture the fish.
Yeah.
Tell us about the fish.
It was great. I mean, it was post spawn, so I mean it was pretty skinny, but it was big, long, big old mouth. You could fit both your fists in it.
What did it weigh?
9 pounds even.
9 pounds even. So you guys are pretty fired up at that point?
Oh,
Yeah, we were pretty fired
To
up.
say the least.
Yeah.
And so this is just about lunchtime, about noon. And so you got 2.5, 3 more hours of fishing. And so how are you guys feeling? You figure you got about 11 pounds in there right now?
probably.
Yeah, 12.
12?
Yeah, probably 12. Yeah.
Okay.
We're just looking for that one last keeper.
So do you stay in that same spot or do you guys move?
I mean, we try to fish it, but I mean,
There wasn't much to fish. It was really a nothing bank. I mean, it didn't look good.
I think that fish was up there looking for brim beds.
I think there were probably brim beds up there or something.
Yeah.
he was just searching. He was
Yeah.
just rolling around.
And so did you end up with a third fish that day?
Barely.
Yeah, it was.
Was this one of those?
We had to measure it like 4 or 5 times just to make sure it was 15 inches.
I
We
got
were
you.
stressing on it, but
And so how much time did you have between you caught that one and it was time to go?
Oh, we
we went right after we caught that fish.
whenever we caught that fish, our big fish started kind of turning up on its side, and he was like, "Will, what do you think we need to do?" And I was like, "We need to go because we don't want to bring in a dead 9-pounder because that's just
And I mean, we felt pretty good with what we had. I mean,
yeah."
so we just, as soon as we caught that last fish, we headed back to the weigh-in.
That's pretty interesting what you just told me because the boat captain can't really give advice. He's got to ask what you guys want to do. How's that work?
In these tournaments, it's not as similar as ours. Like in ours, you can't say you can't do anything, but in these, you can net. Tell us. I think you can tell us what to throw, but we didn't really. I mean, he wanted us to have the full experience of us just doing it on our own. So.
Okay.
It's actually cool with this tournament because our high school division fishes. The rules are totally different from what this one was as far as what the captain can and can't do. You'd think it might be the other way around, that they would be a little more strict at these national events or world finals or whatever. But at our high school events, I can't do anything except help them cull. That's all I can do when they catch the 6 fish. I can help them cull. In this tournament, I could run a trolling motor. I could net fish. I could give advice, But they made the call all 4 days about where they wanted to go, because when we get ready to go, we'll say, "Let's go, Dad." And we'd all put our life jackets on. I said, "Where do you want to go?" I said, "Let's run south," or "Let's go north," or whatever. They made all their calls during the day. I didn't net a fish. I did that big fish. That Ranger of mine has got a divider. It's got divider between the 2 live wells in the back.
Mm-hmm.
When I put her in there, she was kind of folded up. She couldn't stretch out and relax, you know. So I was like,
Tough problem, huh, guys?
golly, man, I've never had to
I
do
have
that
that
before.
problem again.
I'd like to have it. But anyways, I put her in there, and I was like, man, I've got it. There's the divider. That divider comes out, so luckily I had some tools, and I took that divider out while they were fishing, and took that divider out so she could actually stretch out and be more comfortable in a live well, you know, and get some G juice on her and keep her acclimated or alive, you know, where she's breathing well. But anyway, it's a big fish, but yeah, it's a good problem to have. Try to take a divider out. But they made all their calls. They did a good job. It was a fun time for me because I wasn't stressed out over. Somebody asked me at weigh-in when we brought the big fish in. Did you net that fish? And I said, no, I didn't touch that fish till we put it in the live well. And he said, you didn't want to net that fish? And I said, I didn't want to be the one to try to net it and lose it, because one of them would have killed me, you know.
Been a long truck ride home.
Yeah, Dad knocked off a big 9-pounder we had on, you know. So I didn't want to take that responsibility on them. So they netted all their fish. They made all their calls.
So you get back to weigh in on day 3. How'd it feel? How'd it feel laying that thing on the scale?
I mean, we felt pretty confident even before that, but it was just everybody was looking in the bag, like just looking at that fish, and we just figured we were going to the next day, so we were pretty hyped up.
Mm-hmm. Feel pretty good reaching in that bag and showing that thing off?
Yeah.
So you guys jumped from 170 to the top 31.
Well, we actually won our division for that day.
Tell me about that. So what division is that day?
The second chance.
It's like there's top 2 from each state. They take them in, and it's just it's very complicated. It's like, so there's top 10. They take top 10 for nationals because nationals ended the day before.
Right.
They take the top 10 to fish the world finals. And then there's basically the people that didn't do any good, and we were in that. Didn't do as well as the top 2 from each state. And so we were in that, and then the weight zeroed that day, so we caught a big bag, and then we shot at the leaderboard, and just we're in the top 10, and then they take the top 10 from each state. It's confusing. But it's just confusing.
Bottom line is,
we went to that.
You guys went to the finals, which is pretty doggone good. From I'm here in Morgan County, you know, I've got kids y'all's age, and you know, yes, I'm not a big fisherman. I don't have the patience and that kind of stuff. But you know, the buzz around town on Friday night is, you know, we got a team fishing in the finals. So I wake up Saturday and I'm trying to get some updates, and you know, here it is. It's Saturday. You guys are out there. You got a camera in the boat before you blast off. Mm-hmm. You guys doing interviews, all that kind of stuff?
Yes, sir. And a couple interviews.
We got interviewed twice. Yeah. Big camera too.
Right. Oh, big camera. Bigger than this little microphone we're sitting in front of today is what you're saying?
Put it on your shoulder.
No, where were they from?
They were Pursuit Channel.
Yeah, oh, okay. That's got to be pretty exciting.
Yeah. It'll eventually air, I think.
Yeah, I think it airs on the Pursuit Channel sometime. I'm not sure when.
And so the last day, there's only 31 boats fishing. Mm-hmm. So you guys go out pretty quick. Mm-hmm. How's that work for you? Where you headed?
We were actually headed to some pool in the back of the woods so you could barely get to.
Who picked that one?
Well,
they did.
We did.
Yeah. Is it you guys had practice fish there?
No, we saw it on the map, and it kind of went. It was like a little tiny creek, and then it's really not even on the map.
Right. You figured you wouldn't have a lot of competition back there.
No.
Okay. No. And so how did the last day go?
It didn't go too good. I mean, we went to our next spot after that spot, and he caught a keeper at first cast, and we were like, it's going to be good in here. And then we kind of go down the bank, and we had a rough morning. Like, we missed a lot of keepers. He missed a pretty good one on a frog, Spro, walking frog, black, and he missed a good one. But nothing we could do about it.
That's right. Well, it sounds so you guys come in at the end of the day. I'm actually traveling around Madison that day, and I got my phone out and I'm live streaming, highschoolfishing.org, waiting on y'all to come up so we can see it on my phone. I'm going into Morgan Outdoors and Walmart. People are looking at me like I'm crazy. So you finally come up. If I remember correctly, you guys had one fish that day?
Two.
Okay, two fish.
Yeah.
What was the weight that day?
Like
413.
Okay.
Yeah, 413.
And there were some pretty big sacks that day, weren't there?
Yeah, there's the 17 something on it with
Yeah.
3 fish.
That's pretty stout.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys end up finishing 26th
Yeah.
26.
out of 300 and how many boats?
89.
Yeah.
That's pretty doggone good.
Mm-hmm.
Feel good about it.
It's
Yeah.
good.
Yes, sir.
And so at that point, it's time to ride back to Georgia. You guys get some sleep?
Mhm.
Yeah, we stayed the night.
Yeah, we
Oh,
stayed
okay.
that
We
night.
stayed the night rather than trying to cut out because I told them I don't think I'd make it all the way back
Good
without
stuff.
a night
man.
of rest.
So y'all will be back involved. I want to ask Greg a couple of questions. Just you kind of helped get this whole Morgan County fishing team
Yes.
started, and it seems like high school fishing has really blown up over the last 5, 6, 7 years.
Yes, sir.
And there's got to be some challenges, especially in small towns. And so what are the biggest challenges for starting or keeping a high school fishing team going?
Right. Well, of course, you got to have some. The biggest thing that helps us is Jennifer Huff. She's kind of our team mom, I guess you could say. She organizes everything. I mean, she's on top of all our paperwork. Whenever we get ready to go to a tournament, she's got everybody's waivers ready because you got to have documentation and all this stuff before these tournaments. So she's the backbone, kind of just keeps these kids fishing, But our biggest challenge as far as growing is probably just getting dads or granddads or uncles or whatever that have boats to get these guys on the water, because I know a lot of kids that want to do it, but they don't have a boat or don't have a dad that can take them or whatever. I had a couple kids last year say, "Hey, do you know anybody that has a boat? Because I want to fish." And unfortunately, I don't have anybody that can make the commitment to take them fishing every tournament, or they've got to fish 3 tournaments during the year to qualify for nationals, and you got to qualify in the top 10%. And one of those tournaments to qualify. So, and of course, every team's goal mine is to finish as Angler of the Year, and to be able to do that, you'll have to fish every tournament. But our anglers don't have to fish every tournament; they can fish what they pick and choose, But our biggest challenge is just, like I said, getting captains and kids that understand the commitment level that it takes to do what we do. It's not pond fishing with your buddy. It's sure enough serious, long day, early in the morning, late at night, rigging tackle, getting stuff done. So we do have someone who's kind of taking the reins at the middle school level. It looks like I'm trying to get a junior division started, which that's kind of what's going to make our kids in this county be stronger and better anglers. The more time on the water, the more times they hit these lakes, the better they'll know them. So hopefully she'll be able to work with the athletic director and some of the people involved and try to get a junior team started, because that's where it starts with the younger kids, and bring them all through middle school, and they'll get to fish for 6 or 7 years or whatever,
Sure. So not just Morgan County, but anybody out there, if you're a dad, an uncle, a mom that you love to fish, and you can have the time, the real important thing is see if you can dedicate the time to take these kids out and get them fishing, because it's grown a lot, and now y'all can go to college
Yes.
on a fishing scholarship.
Pretty cool.
You guys are not too far away from graduating. Is that something that is that something you're working towards, and how do you go about it, Michael? I mean, is this you just keep fishing, or is that would you like to go to college and be on the fishing team on scholarship?
I mean, if that's the opportunity that it gives, I would. But either that or working toward baseball too. But
Right.
I mean, if it's the opportunity and it's a good one, I mean, I think I would take it.
So you can just go out there and keep fishing as best you can, and
Yes, sir.
hope to get noticed, and those kind of things. What about you, Will?
I just want to go fish on the scholarship.
Okay.
Just what I want to do.
So you're ready to go fishing.
I'm ready to go fishing.
Well, that's good stuff. Well, listen, guys, I appreciate y'all getting up early this morning and during the summer. Congratulations. That was a heck of a weekend. I know it was for the parents. A lot of people here in Morgan County. It was great to see you guys and your other partners out there over there in Pickwick. Next year, where's it at?
Wisconsin.
Up the Mississippi River.
Okay. So you guys are headed up there this weekend to practice fish, get ready, or how's that going to work out?
Actually, we're Will and I have been talking. We're going to try to start see if we can get some money from get sponsored, by some local companies to try to raise some money, because it's going to take a lot of money to get us up there.
Yeah, it's
year.
It's a little bit longer of a poke than crossing
Pickwick.
the border over here.
Yeah. So.
And Michael, you plan on trying to get up there?
If we can raise some money and figure something out to get up there, yes, sir.
So that's kind of like just about any other high school sport, right? You got to have fundraisers and booster clubs to be able to get the money to be able to get the student athletes to do the things that you want them to do. So what kind of fundraisers do you guys do? Fundraisers? Just try to look for sponsorships?
Just sponsors. Everything on their shirt just gives us money to help our team.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been fortunate enough that our sponsors get us a good amount of money. I mean, unfortunately, it doesn't go very far with the amount of teams that we have and the number of tournaments that we fish. Our goal right now has been just to pay for their tournament entry fees, so the anglers not having to pay it out of pocket, and their jerseys. And also, this year we've been reimbursing the captains a little bit of fuel when they go, $50 in fuel or whatever. But we'd really like to try to make it where it's a lot easier on boat captains and moms and dads that captain or whatever, because it's an expensive. Usually we go practice for 2 or 3 days. If the tournament's on a Saturday at our high school event, usually we try to get down there by Wednesday or Thursday or whatever and practice a little bit, so it can be a 4 or 5 day hotel or cottage or whatever, and not excluding your gas, and food and all that. So it can be an expensive deal. People like William at Sugar Creek has been really good for us. We hope to get a tournament at Sugar Creek maybe next year. I don't know, but anyways, people at Sugar Creek and Harbin Lumber, Georgia Civil, all these guys make it possible to do what we do. Just to try to get out there and make it where it's not so burden financially for these kids or a captain to go fishing.
Okay, so everybody listening out there, no matter where you are, if you're here in Georgia, Alabama, and there's high school fishing teams out there, they need your support. We want to keep these student athletes out there being able to do what they love. Like sitting here with these guys today, I can see the passion that they have for fishing. They're looking forward to getting out there. So if you've got a chance to help, get in contact with your local high school fishing team, see how you can partner up with them. And again, guys, I appreciate you getting up this morning with us. Congratulations. 26th out of 389 boats. That's some pretty cool stuff. Looking forward to hearing the rest of the journey, and we'll hopefully have you guys back again real soon. So thanks again for coming in, and I hope you guys go enjoy the rest of your summer.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.